What is the greatest fear of any teenager? Any guesses from this image itself? You can make a guess. What is the greatest fear that any teenager faces? So when you see this, as you would have guessed from this photo itself, the greatest fear of any teenager is that of a dead phone battery. So not only worldwide, but even in India, many people are addicted to mobile phones, especially teenagers. And in a survey conducted in Mumbai, out of all the adolescents, they all said, almost 58% have mentioned that they can't even live a single day without their mobile phones. So this is how bad the situation is. So my topic today is the cost of connection and teen mobile addiction. We all know that the cell phone is the greatest invention of this century. Not only is it used to talk with our near and dear ones, but being loaded with a lot of apps. It is used as a clock, it is used as a camera, it is used to listen to music, to navigate with the help of a map, and even gaming. So it's a multi-purpose device, and no wonder all our teens are addicted to that. If you look at the data, 30 million Indian teenagers own smartphones, and out of this huge number, almost 40% spend every day fiddling with that for more than 5 hours. A study says that for every additional 1 hour spent on the mobile phone, that the chance of suicide of a teenager increases by almost 9%. So throughout India, on an average, 33% of all the teenagers say that they felt addicted to the mobile phone at some point or another. So why is this a source of stress? Not only is the mobile phone a waste of time, but it is a direct source of depression, sleep disturbances, aggression, and risky behaviors. Many people who feel addicted to the mobile phone complain of loneliness, guilt, and anxiety when the phone is removed from them. So addiction may be defined as a craving or a compulsion with loss of control. And there is persistence of the behavior in spite of removal and knowing the adverse effects. And when the phone is removed from teenagers, there is withdrawal symptoms like physically, tremors, palpitations, etc. An alternative terminology that is being used is problematic use of mobile phone rather than mobile addiction. So what do the teens do online? A majority of them use web streaming services like YouTube, and a major chunk spend the time on social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, and Viber. And online porn is being a problem in teenagers, and many kids are addicted to gaming also. So why do kids get addicted to mobile phone? We all know that there is a center of pleasure in the brain called the dopamine center. We feel happy because of the dopamine surge in the brain. So when a teenager fiddles with his phone, there's a rush of dopamine and he feels happy. And after some time, when he's away from the phone, his dopamine levels less and he feels the need to take the phone again. So this is a vicious cycle, and this is because of the dopamine reward loop that teens get addicted to the mobile phone. And another major reason is that teenagers have the need to gain freedom. They want to establish their own identity, and they also love to create new relationships. They see the mobile phone as an extension of their own identity. There are a lot of fashion accessories to use with the phone. You can change the screen guard, and with a lot of apps available, they feel that they identify themselves with the mobile phone. And there is also the possibility of socializing online, and teens are hooked to this. So any positive like, share, or comment on Facebook or social media enables in them a dopamine rush, and this is repeated repeatedly. Again, the brain of a teenager is constantly developing. The emotional regulation, self-control, impulse control, decision-making, everything is still not yet developed, and they are hence addicted to the phone. What are the symptoms of addiction? So mostly anxiety, depression, irritability, neglecting enjoyable activities which they were earlier enjoying, and they have difficulty cutting back, and they compare themselves to the online standards. They see a celebrity online and they feel they are not up to mark to that celebrity, and they feel envy or jealousy. There is a fear of being detached from the mobile phone. This is called nomophobia or no mobile phobia. And phantom vibrations, which we also have experienced sometimes. We feel that the phone is ringing and we take the phone out of our pocket, but in reality that the phone is switched off. So phantom vibrations or ringxiety is very common among addicted teenagers. There is also withdrawal symptoms like headache, sweating, flushing, nausea, etc. So the negative effects of mobile phone addiction are indifference in interpersonal relationships and self-loneliness as reported by a lot of studies. The blue light emitted from the mobile phone causes a lot of physical symptoms like headache, dizziness, visual auditory symptoms, even retinal damage. There is loss of concentration, decreased memory and fatigue. So you can use the 20-20-20 rule to prevent this blue light harm. For every 20 minutes that you use your mobile phone, give a break of 20 seconds and you look at something that is 20 feet away. And if you repeat this exercise, you will not feel eye strain. Obesity is again a huge problem with mobile addiction, and usage of mobile phone of more than 5 hours per day has a 43% obesity risk. An AIMS study says that almost 1/3 among those survived of the teenagers exhibit signs of obesity. Online gaming. This is a huge problem for teenagers. So it's an emotionally draining and time-consuming exercise. The teens neglect the sleep, the food, hobbies, exercise, and they are constantly engaged with it. They even avoid their friends and family to game online. A direct result of this is called texting thumb, where there is pain because of the repeated hand motions, and there is stress on the muscles and nerve fibers, and there is an inflammation. So texting thumb is common in those who constantly SMS. Again, neck pain is constantly complained by teenagers addicted to the mobile phone. This is because of the flexed posture of the neck. So to correct their posture, you can ask them to sit straight and support both forearms, and when they use the phone, they can use the phone with both hands, and they should use both the thumbs when they text. So this will prevent musculoskeletal problems. Sleep conditions. Again, for every 30 minutes that a teen uses his phone, it takes him longer to sleep, and the blue light affects melatonin secretion. So the sleep quality is affected. There is a decrease in the REM sleep. When there was a discussion on why these teenagers are not sleeping and using the mobile at night, they said that 60% were worried that their friends were having fun without them. There is a fear of missing out, and so they want to validate themselves by using the phone. And the 50% said that they were anxious and they were not knowing what the friends were doing on social media, so they were checking their phone in the night. So how to prevent this? There is something called the night mode on modern phones, which turns on actively by itself. Automatically it gets turned on. And in case you don't have that, there are a lot of apps to turn blue light off during the night, and this prevents eye strain. So academic performance is drastically affected by mobile addiction, and there is something called the addictive patterns of use scale, APU, that looks at a questionnaire, and with the questionnaire we can assess how far they are addicted. So it has a lot of questions like, did they exhibit any serious conflict with family or friends? Did they feel restless or tense when they were unable to use the phone, and so on. And the APU score was directly associated with academic performance. Academic failure and depression related to phone was established by the study in 2014 by Shiopuri et al. And phones disrupt sleep, impact memory, and also affect the ability to think clearly. Another unwanted effect of the cell phone is cheating using the mobile phones. And even we were doing it in our days. I don't know what is the standard now. So 35% of all the teenagers admitted, I have cheated using a mobile phone, and the remaining 65% said, I have not cheated, but my friend does. So universally cheating is a problem. And if you find that a teenager has cheated, you should definitely take some effort. So he should not believe when he says, all of my friends do that. It is very common. A teen should face the consequences, and even if he gets 0 in his exams, there is no need for him to get away with that. So ensure that the teenager faces the consequences of cheating. Again, online pornography has become a huge problem with teenage mobile use, and India ranks the top in smartphone traffic to websites for porn. And we have a cheaper data plan in India. Almost 1 GB of data we get at 7 rupees, and hence online porn is very easy to access by teenagers. And again, an extension of online pornography is sexting, where they send photos, SMS, and videos of themselves involved in sexual activities to their friends. So there is a chance that this gets uploaded online to social media, and pedophiles access this, and there is a chance that the child can get bullied by criminals. So bullying and humiliation among social cycles is very common in mobile addiction. So cyberbullying, this is the power play of unprovoked teasing, which changes into abuse with intention to hurt. There is pain and distress repeatedly to the teenager, And because teens have a poor endurance for public criticism, they usually fall into the trap. So the advantages for the bully is he's hiding behind a screen, nobody knows who he is, and the weak cyber laws in India also contribute to this problem. So a 2014 survey says that India accounts for the highest number of child cyberbullying cases, that is 32%, followed by US and Great Britain. So how do you advise the teenagers to stay safe online? You tell them they are not supposed to accept any friend requests from strangers. Tell them not to divulge personal account information like phone number, address, and not to share photos or videos with anybody online. Distracted and dangerous driving is again a big problem with teenagers. And 50% of teenagers say that at some point they have used the mobile phone when they ride. And an extension of this is vlogging, where they use the mobile phone attached to the helmet and they document that while they ride. And we see a lot of accidents on social media also. So for every 2 seconds that you take to glance at your phone, there is a 4-fold risk of an accident, and many of the kids do not realize this. And selfie obsession. Even now, even we are also exhibiting this selfie behavior. We are also taking photos here, coming to the Pedicon and uploading it online to our WhatsApp groups. And worldwide, almost 1 million selfies are being taken every day. And again, India tops in this also. So India ranks for all of this in the top. So they say that an AIM study made from 2011 to 2017 said that 130 selfie deaths have happened because of using the selfie at a disastrous spot. And here you can see that one boy is drowning. He actually drowned. It was published on social media. He actually died while his friends were taking selfies. So a selfie craze again has to be dealt with accordingly. So body image concerns are also pretty common with girls. I already said that the girls look at celebrities' photos online and they feel, I am not like Tamanna, I am not like Aishwarya, and they compare themselves to these standards. So they are not mature enough to know that it is not reality, and they lose weight, they want to change their appearance, they want to undergo cosmetic procedures to look better, which is a direct result of social media usage. And again, the other harmful effect, suicide. Phone addiction is associated with suicidal behavior, which is established by a lot of studies. It correlated negatively with happiness, life satisfaction, and self-esteem. And there is a direct relationship with media usage and poor sleep. And we all would have seen this scare, the Momo. Our children were scared, the Momo challenge, the Blue Whale challenge. And there are a lot of forums where children are encouraged by their peers to exhibit self-harm tendencies. They cut themselves and post the video online, and the other teenagers comment on this. This is good, you can do better, and stuff like that. So a lot of dark things happen on the web, and we need to educate our teens accordingly. So I already mentioned no mobile phobia, which is the fear of not being able to use the phone. There are a lot of physical symptoms established, and 4 dimensions are related to dysfunctional phone use, mainly not being able to communicate, loss of connection, not being able to access the information, and giving up comfort. There is a questionnaire for this, and using this questionnaire we can know whether a child is suffering from this. And the validated scales, 2 I would like to mention. One is the unidimensional mobile phone problem use scale, which is validated worldwide. And it looks at tolerance, withdrawal, escape from other problems, craving, and negative consequences. It is a questionnaire that is given to the children, and when they finish that, you can know whether a child is addicted or not. So again, there is a multi-dimensional questionnaire again, which looks at dangerous use of mobile phone, prohibited use, dependent symptoms, and any negative outcome in daily life. Again, it looks at tolerance, withdrawal, great deal of time spent on the mobile phone, craving for the phone, use in physically hazardous situations, activities given up, use despite social problems, etc. So these are available online, and once we look them, you can get it. So how do we tackle this problem of teen mobile addiction? One is educating our children. Mindfulness, or practicing mindfulness, meditation, this helps. And then the parent has to restrict use of phone and modeling the behavior by themselves. And finally, looking up at alternate hobbies. So you talk openly with teenagers about the benefits and the downsides of using a mobile phone. And you prioritize real world interactions rather than virtual interactions. You tell them that they have to engage more with their friends, engage more with their relatives, and embrace the beauty of face-to-face conversations. The more time that a teen spends with the people he or she loves, the more he will feel fulfilled and the more happier he will feel. So enhance and insist on this. and then you set boundaries where you don't allow the phone when the child is eating or at a social gathering or when they go out. So you enforce these boundaries very strictly. There are a lot of studies which have looked at yoga, mindfulness, and they found that it really helps with addictive tendencies. And mainly Chinese studies say that yoga helps for de-addiction. So there is something called the digital well-being on Android phones and screen time on iPhones. Anybody can toggle this, and in our own phones we can toggle this. At the end of the day, if you look it up, it will show you how much hours or how much minutes you spent on what app. And if you feel that an app is particularly distressing to the child, you can tell him to uninstall that. So this is an easy way to know what harm that particular app is causing. There are a lot of parental control apps which you can install on the phone, and these will monitor the children. You can have their permission, and if it's a problematic teen, you need not have their permission also, and you can see to whom they are texting, whether they are using online sites accordingly, appropriately, etc. So an easy way again to turn off notifications. Whenever the mobile phone pings, you have a tendency to take and look at that. So if you turn off the notifications, at a free time, maybe after 2 hours, you can take and look at that, and this prevents the phone from being constantly looked at by the teenagers. So a way to do this is to go to the lock screen settings and turn off notifications on lock screen. And lead by example. We see a lot of mothers breastfeeding and looking at their phones. So the baby, when it looks at this, it believes that the phone is very essential for life, and it models the parent. So we ourselves have to avoid phones when we are around children. And only when we do this, the teens will mirror our behavior. You show them it's possible to engage in activities without a smartphone, and you can enjoy it too. Parents should spend more time with the children, give more attention to them, prioritize non-screen activities, games, sports, arts, and books. And again, indulge in hobbies like gardening, playing board games, instruments, reading, or painting. And this will keep them away from smartphones. Ensure that every weekend you go out and spend time with your kid, play games with them, go swimming, watch movies, and do all this, and definitely we can wean our teenagers away from the mobile phones. So thank you for your patient listening. Have a great day.